The Chris Fluck Podcast.
Yeah, here we go. I think we're on episode 15, Chris Fluck Podcast.
Love it.
Chris Fluck here. This is Frank Donley. Today's special one. We got some Q&A going on here. First question's a big one. It's an important one. A lot of ladies are wondering, Frank, are you single? Just kidding.
Biggest question is, Chris Fluck, why do you let this 6'2", 280-pound man within the bowling complex train people in your gym?
But to get after this thing a little bit, man, what's going on? What do you got going on? Weather is nice.
Weather is beautiful.
On the street, man. You're hitting the road a little bit, getting some road work in.
Yeah, I'm actually running a little bit. You changed my life last time. So I did intervals. Yeah. I'm trying to get my sprint game on. So I did 20 minutes, 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, try to pick it up a little bit. Pretty tough, man. And then I started doing some self-limiting breathing, just like 2 6-minute blocks. Then today I did the intervals again. I just tried to cover more distance.
Which is what, you're just breathing through the nose, right?
Yep, in and out through the nose.
A self-limiting tool would be like...
or barefoot training.
Barefoot training and like jumping rope. You know, you could only do so much on the jump rope based off your skill level. So it's like hard to overtrain on the jump rope because eventually you're going to mess up through fatigue. So like the self-limiting stuff, breathing through the nose, eventually you're just going to run out of wind. So you can only do so much.
So I can do less, so I'm less likely to hurt myself.
The thing on those cars, or on the golf carts.
Regulators?
Yeah. No.
Governs.
Governs. Governor.
That's what's going to happen in Europe. They're going to limit people's speed, so you can't go above the speed limit.
Well, that's what
self-limiting.
That's self-limiting exercise.
Same thing, bro.
Bam.
Same thing.
Governor.
It's America, though.
We're not doing that here.
I hope not. But the more than 6 minute, the jogging with the self-limiting thing is more. I'm trying to like temper my joints because I tried the sprinting thing. It was pretty brutal on like my ankles, feet, like knees, PCL where I tore up.
Yeah.
First time
we talked about it here, man.
Yeah. But it was pretty aggressive. So I think doing some of the slower stuff is just going to kind of like build up some toughness.
Oh, so like in that tissue.
Yeah.
Ligaments, joints.
Hopefully, or just get used to it, one or the other.
Well, I remember listening
I would like to be able to sprint again.
The guy does old like men's gymnastic coach. So he was talking about with their team, like the connective tissue on the rings needs like 250 days of prep work before you could even get into a ring dip. So with the younger people and when they're in the training center, it was like just building up the connective tissue to withhold and withstand the abuse it's going to take with
Makes
the training.
Sense, though, right?
It does. So you might be doing.
I think sprinting is more aggressive than people give it credit for.
It's at least. I mean, we talked 7 times your body weight. I think.
Yeah.
Whatever content, at least.
Yeah.
So every time you're
I got a lot of body weight.
Start doing the math.
Yeah.
Gets up there. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Big metabolic cost, though. I think it's really good for you. You should be able to do it.
I think so, too.
I should be able to sprint without being... My hammies lock up, man. My right groin, too. That day. It's weird.
You need it. I think you need to just get some reps in.
Yeah. More mild.
Maybe not go super aggressive right off the bat, too.
That's what makes me feel good, though. That's that endorphin rush, right? With the high intensity stuff, that's why people love it so much. That's why I like finishes and stuff.
If somebody was going to say, "Hey, I want to start running,"
but it's not intelligent. I would tell them to do something different than I'm doing right now.
Yeah, start walking or jogging, and then go from
there. Walk
there.
more. Yeah. Walk faster.
What else were we going with then? Intervals. How do you? I had something else to throw in there.
Glenanoka's shutting down for people who are trying to get out on the trail. May 1st. Pretty depressing. Jim Thorpe, right above Jim Thorpe.
Pennsylvania.
Pretty awesome. Super cool
what
waterfalls.
Are they gonna do? Just
they need $1.5 million, I think, to like restore the trail because of like erosion and so many. It's like with Instagram like booming, like all these like tourist attractions like outside, I think are getting more and more traffic. So I think it's partly that, and I think it's just partly people don't listen to like signs. Like you shouldn't be up there in slides. It's like clearly marked that you need some kind of good footwear, and people like sitting on the edge of waterfalls where it's like clearly has like a border that you're not supposed to cross and stuff like that.
Are you?
They're gonna have to. They can't shut it down though. It's gonna have to be a fine.
Is it about the deaths?
It's about the death. It's also about. I think it's also a little bit of both. But I think it's also the money that's surrounding. You know, I forget what they were saying. It's like 5 or 7 different EMS firefighting like units that have to go in and try to save these people. So it's a lot of resources to try to save the people too. You know. There's not like a helipad right there, like at some of the places like the Pinnacle and Hamburg and places like that. So I think it's very not cost friendly when these people have big accidents.
Well, we went there, Marisa and I, and we got off path somehow, and so we're climbing up here. Apparently there was like some state grounds up high somewhere. I don't know, but anyway, we started hearing gunshots, and we're like, maybe we should probably circle back down. We try to come back down. We're off the path, and there's like these jagged rocks, and we're like, these 3 guys behind us were. Like, we're just turning back. We're like, all right. Well, and then me and Marisa just try to go down. So there was like this weird little gap. I go down. I went down first. She hands me the backpack. I set the backpack down, go to help Marisa, and then the backpack just starts going like this, and then boom, just starts rolling down this freaking hill.
Yeah.
Hits the trail, and then just takes another big dip. And then some kid down there is like, it's in the water. We're like, crap. So anyway, that's a human body instead of a backpack. Like,
you're in trouble.
It's death.
This is also part of the reason I'm saying that people don't pay attention to signing, like, stay on trails. You shouldn't be off the trail in general.
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
Like, if you're just, like, out going rogue, that's why these people are getting messed up.
Yeah, but it wasn't,
you know?
It wasn't initially, like, I don't think our intent
Were you on the
was to
overview
go
trail
rogue.
at the very top?
I don't know.
Did you go up the side with the waterfalls?
Yeah, and we were
I highly recommend that because it's
like,
sketchy coming down
to
those.
the top. And then we kind of didn't know where we worked because somebody told us, like, hey, if you go to a certain point, you could overlook, like, something. And we were like, all right, we found one spot that I think had, like, maybe a big tower. I don't know. And then basically we couldn't find where they were talking.
So basically when you get to the top of all the waterfall system, there's another trail. There's like it's maybe like a campground. There's like a fire pit back there. And then you can continue going back to this, like, overview trail, too. So maybe you went back there and couldn't find your way back out.
Don't know. But anyway.
Either way.
Crazy. Dicey. Yeah. And there's some other spots, too, where the things like the trail's this wide and people have their dogs and stuff. And it's like, I don't know.
And it gets busy.
It gets uncomfortable.
It really does get busy.
Like if a dog would just even react a little bit towards somebody that,
Or a puppy you're trying to train and stuff, See something, tries to take off, it can jank you.
Jank you or scare somebody off the trail with
either one.
A little slip of the foot.
Yeah. It's just such a cool spot, though. It's beautiful. You can sit under the falls. Like, there's not many places like that. You can go behind the falls. There's all kinds of stuff. It's just it's very unique for this area.
Yeah, I don't know what they're. So
besides, like,
shit ton of
where
money.
else are cool waterfalls? I was Bushkill.
I told you that
Ricketts
one.
Glen.
It's in Milford, Pennsylvania. Raymond's Kill Falls is like, I think they said it's the second longest, right behind Niagara. But it's not a straight drop like Niagara. It's like a slow descent, like at an angle. So there's like a good drop, and then there's like it just like angled in a way. So I guess lengthwise, it's comparable to Niagara Falls, but it's not a straight drop. It's like
okay,
you know what I'm
more
saying?
cascaded.
I guess so. Cascaded Falls. But anyway, yeah, that's a cool town. It's like it's past the Poconos.
So I need to check that out.
Milford, PA.
Boom.
Cool.
Super cool app I just got is All Trails. You ever hear that?
Nope.
It's based on GPS, but it like throws up like, and it's cool because it's for beginners, moderate, advanced. It's a place you can really review all these places, and it just wherever your location is, it'll pop up multiple places around you.
Yeah.
So you can kind of like scroll through. It's pretty cool.
If
you're trying to like adventure and see different spots.
Do you do it when you're traveling or no?
I haven't. I actually just got it, so I've only done it in Bowling Springs when I was visiting, and then locally here.
Nice.
Bubblers. Shout out.
Boiling Springs. Hi. You want to get going Q&A style?
Q&A style.
So we're pivoting right into that first question. So I don't remember who was in here this week, but I remember the recommendation was to get out and get moving a little bit more in terms of walking.
Austin?
I don't know. It was just somebody made
weight maintenance
body composition one. But anyway, we had a question here.
We're just talking about how cool spring is, really. Like people are just more active in this time. Yeah. The days are longer, so you're not getting out of work at 6 p.m. and it's pretty much dark. It's staying dark longer. You can get out on your bike. You can get out walking. You can just be more active outside.
Get some
gardening's about to pump up, bro. I'm trying to get those good micros.
What are you growing?
I can't get in. Actually, the same day that Glen shuts down, I can get into the community garden.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw in tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, zucchini squash, yellow squash, all that kind of good. And you can pick it so ripe. It's so much better.
We had some kale coming up right now. You ever grow that?
Yeah. Kale's good stuff.
Asparagus coming up.
I like kale. I like it better if it's cooked in some kind of saturated fat, though.
I like it with garlic. Saute it up.
Oh, yeah.
Oil, garlic, kale.
That's good stuff. I make cauliflower rice for the first time.
Nice.
Pretty good. Depressing how little it takes.
What do you got in there? Some oil? Olive oil?
Olive oil, and then use a food processor, mix it all together, and then there's salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, man. They bake them basics.
I like oil. I like that
salt. Tastiness.
Oil if you add and salt to anything, it seems to make anything better. You could cook anything in oil and salt. I think so. Anyway, vegetable, oil, salt. Good to go. All right. Anyway,
amino acids too. You got me on, or liquid aminos. Any kind of vegetables, dude. Throw a little soy sauce alternative on those puppies. Woo! That's good, dude.
What about the meat? Do you ever do chicken or shrimp or anything?
With that on?
Saute? Is that stir fry style?
I haven't yet. I think I should.
Yeah, veggies, like liquid aminos, dice up some meat.
This is how we're getting into pizza? No, we're getting it outside of cookies.
We got 10 questions here. Frank might have a couple. Number 1, outside activities. It was just kind of getting your body moving a little bit more.
Higher metabolic rate.
Somebody by the name of Carla wanted to know. Trying to lose belly fat, maybe a little cellulite. One thing to recommend. The one thing. What do you think?
Lose body fat.
Yeah, so it appears, I guess it's probably $1 million question if you can answer it and be successful with helping people. But
or make a bunch of money.
So I guess it
people.
appears that women store body fat a little bit differently than men.
80 to 90% of women are going to have it at some point.
Right, and they're like fat cells, cellulite.
Yeah, so I basically what it was saying is like the connective tissue of how fat is stored with a male is like cross-sectional, whereas in females it's like a vertical column. So that's going to give you like that look of like that dimply like orange peel, whatever it's called, look. But it's just how body fat's stored is kind of what I took away from the whole thing.
And it seemed that like, getting your body fat down would be ideal. So that would be the recommendation. One way to do that too is kind of what we talk about anyway, but it's just trying to get your strength and trying to get some lean muscle up. Then body fat's going to go down. Hopefully. Yeah. They also talked about the muscle though, smoothing out the fat pockets, I guess. So if you're able to build some muscle underneath that, I think it'll maybe elongate where that fat does sit as a like this. But maybe if you have something pushing up against it, it'll like spread it out a little bit, so it won't be. That's how I took it. That was like little like the stuff on that is like. There's not a lot of evidence to support that.
It seems that people, as they get stronger, look aesthetically more pleasing.
Yeah.
So as they build lean muscle mass in general. So
weigh the same. Get stronger.
More solid.
Yeah, and then hopefully you're able to freaking spread that fat out a little bit, or just get rid of it overall, because it is fat cells and it's just fat cells sitting there.
Keep losing body fat. How do you lose body fat?
Man, how? Well, I just think it's I'd jack some steel, basically. I would try to get some lean muscle.
So strength training is the number one way.
I think so.
Lose body fat.
Yay, nay? What do you think?
I personally think so, but I think it's because an inefficiency variable. Like I think strength training is cool because you can add whatever load, which is my favorite because I like getting people strong. But you can add sets. You can, as long as you're progressing forward. Like a lot of things you never really progress with. Strength training, like you do. Well, so like you're having a different stimulus, which is constantly like evolving. Whereas some things, it seems like you just get efficient at it. But you could do that with strength training too. If you grab 15-pound kettlebells and do 10 lunges each side and then do that every week, it's not going to be effective long term.
What's the self-limiting talk too we had in the beginning is like doing the self-limiting stuff is like you're totally inefficient at it, so you can only do so much of it. So it's like you take the same kind of principle there, put it in the weight room, and like some people would do 50 pounds in one hand and 35 pounds in the other for lunges. So this offset thing, you're not used to it. Your body's got to overcome that. Different stimulus. Even changing reps, rest time.
Rest time for sure. Density, how much you get in a specific time too.
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
Not just,
10 minutes.
10 minute chin-up challenge.
Boom. Or
chin-up challenge of the week, baby.
Month.
People from all of the month. People all over do it.
Yeah.
Send them in.
Send them in.
Green's husband killed it.
Fifi.
He
might be listening. We're getting him on here.
We got a new guest coming in. That's gonna be dope.
We don't even know him, but he's coming on.
Strength training.
Inefficient training. Do things that you're not good at. If you do the same stuff over and over again, you're not.
You can apply it to more things than strength training too. So, like for example, if I was doing these intervals and I stay at a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, I'm gonna have to go more from 80 to 85%, or cover more distance in those minutes. Or I need to like manipulate the variables of like work to rest ratio or something. Yeah, incline.
Or keep the same.
Anyway, that would be the intensity variable, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of things with fat loss, and gaining lean muscle wise, is intensity.
Yeah.
And inefficiency. Because some of that like finishes in metabolic conditioning stuff too. It's like you need to find things that are inefficient. Because this is what we were talking about too. Is she was talking about how like plate pushes always crush your soul, or like. It's because you're not efficient at it. If you were busting out plate pushes and, you went down and back 4 times and you got up and you weren't out of breath and you looked like calm as a cucumber, it's probably not the best exercise for you to do if you're trying to be inefficient,
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of fat loss is inefficiency too.
It is, for
and
sure.
And new stimulus intensity, so intensity and inefficiency.
But then also too, like let's say you are doing this stuff in the morning and then just to kind of circle back to the nice weather stuff, like you could get some strength training work in, maybe maybe it's at a slower pace, or maybe you're focusing on, say, literally getting better at chin-ups. But then that in the back that evening you're going to go for a 90-minute walk. So you're doing like these low-level exercise too. I think that basically that the question is too. Like you go to the gyms and you see a lot of the bodybuilders. They'll do that. They'll stay in that threshold, that fat burning mode is what they'll say. They want to keep their heart rate at a certain level, but not spike it too high because I don't know if it's for recovery reasons or whatever, but.
They just think they're going to lose lean muscle mass because bodybuilding is all about trying to sustain that.
You get catabolic, I guess, then if you do that. But like your opinion,
but isn't that only if you sustain at that? Like if you're dipping up and down.
I don't understand. Well, no, I do understand it. Those guys are training just different. than everybody else.
Yeah.
So
they have different goals too. Yeah.
So to follow their plan might not be the best, but I mean, with the tactical stuff, do you remember watching that with that Matt Wenning talking? He had those guys lift in the morning, long walks in the afternoon and stuff. And
Jim Wendler, even the guy from 531, is a big component for rucking. So he's like, the conditioning you need is whatever, 2 90-minute rucks a week.
So if you're doing some sled work, some prowler work, running up hills, running some interval stuff, and then if you do some lower level cardiovascular training, that's probably another component to the fat loss.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So get out.
There's a reason most people get leaner at this time of year.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Why do you like the prowler so much?
Who, me?
I mean, I love it too. Well, most people, clients,
I just think because it's like you can almost simulate sprinting almost, I guess. Like
it's
you were saying
safe.
with the plank push, people were flying.
Yeah. Have you seen, I've never seen an injury on that puppy.
Not me either. But you could blast a hammy like your boy back in the day.
Sprinting.
Double hammy.
That was really sprinting, dude. That was gnarly. My boy, we were testing out.
We're probably 26, 27 years old.
Yeah. I wasn't even training him. We were just like hanging out doing some testing. It was something with Warrior Fit that everyone was testing out.
NFL Combine was on.
Combine, yeah. We were probably all amped up.
You two guys, I think you two guys were doing it. I came in and was
Pro agility, vertical leap, broad jump, 40-yard dash. Legit strained both hamstrings. We had to carry him to his truck.
We had to take.
It was awful, man.
We had to wrap up his hammies with ice packs. I think feet elevated on the chair.
Have you ever seen two go?
No, he went down like he got shot. Man.
One went, I guess, and then tried to decelerate on the other. I've seen one pull several times.
Just keep in mind, he wasn't training to sprint
Neither
either.
of us were training like that.
We were just being dumbasses. But I guess that's what you do when you're 26, 27.
Test out, more hormone filled, reckless.
Yeah.
A lot of our issues came from being reckless.
Well, lesson learned, hopefully, there. He
100%.
probably hasn't sprinted since then. He had a big-ass truck. We had to lift him and put him in the truck.
The truck's sweet.
All right, body fat. We got it.
Body fat. So strength training is my number one, too, just because of how you can keep progressing it and controlling the variables.
Inefficiency,
intensity.
variables. And
hormone, I think. The stuff that happens with strength training, I think, is important, too.
Yeah, but
long walk,
you
definitely,
get that
for sure.
too with all the.
Can we talk about nutrition now? Are you really going to be able to lose body fat without nutrition?
No, you're not. We talked about this too, and it sounds super negative, but it's always like some people are not willing to give up certain things, which is fine. But just know that might be affecting your long-term goal. So it's
maybe you need to change your goal then, if that's really
true. Maybe
how
be happy.
Whoa,
possible transition here.
Body and
yeah, we're gonna pivot there.
Sleep too.
But anyway,
body
with
fat.
The food stuff. Let's say you got this thing going on. You set this goal. You want to lose, 10 pounds. You get to 7 pounds. You're looking a lot better. How about this? Actually, 50 pounds. You want to lose 50 pounds, and you only lost 38 pounds. Awesome, right? But not in their mind because they're still 12 pounds off their goal, and then they're stuck and they're super.
But look at all the work they already did.
But that's not how the brain works, unfortunately. You see people like that in here, or you've talked to people.
But it's just going to get harder too. If they keep getting it compounds the problem. Getting super negative at that point.
Agreed, 100%. So, like our girl Davin wants to know, body positive was her thing. And
what was she saying? Body positive.
So I guess, just being happy with where you are, but maybe not being content. That's where I get a little tricky with it, because being body positive, if you're 300 pounds overweight, you could be body positive, but you're not healthy. 300 pounds overweight.
Oh, never mind.
No. Yeah.
thought he was calling me unhealthy.
No, I know. That's what I figured you were doing this for. No, not that at all.
300 pounds overweight.
Overweight. But you're happy with yourself. You want to shake it,
That's
do
body
whatever.
Positive.
That's body positive, but it's not healthy. So to be body positive in that regard and to tell people it's okay to be 300 pounds overweight, I think is an issue. But I think it's important to be positive about how you feel about yourself.
They feel good about themselves, though, too.
Right, but I think maybe we just take that next step in the right direction and try to get yourself healthier.
Yeah, but you're talking from a physical standpoint. Some of these people probably are mentally healthy if they're loving the way they're vibing, bro.
They're feeling themselves.
You know what I mean?
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's part of it, too. Is the psychological health, not just physiological health.
All right, so then that's one end of the spectrum. What about that other person then that's super lean?
They can't lose that last 5 pounds when they already lost 45, but there's 50 left?
No, somebody that's super fit, and they just don't have their mind into it. They don't think they're good enough.
That's probably why they're super fit, though.
They just keep grinding?
Right? Isn't that the stimulus? That's the catalyst of why they're there in the first place, is their drivenness and their mental grit to actually do it and be self-disciplined.
But
you're saying
they would not be
past a certain point where it's
they wouldn't be body positive because it's actually negative because they're not happy with themselves.
That's true, too.
It's
an interesting way to think.
I think so. I mean, there's people I know for a fact that are you would think like everything is awesome for them and they look awesome and everybody would tell them they look awesome.
But they're just
they don't think it. They think they look like
But
crap.
is that an actual dysmorphia issue, or is that just...
There's more to it than just, it's probably...
you think they think they don't see what other people see.
Exactly.
Or they don't look at it relative to the population. Like, they're not walking around like, whatever, Walmart checking out people.
I don't know what they're thinking. Or they're thinking about what they look like 12 years ago.
It's got to be you versus you at some point, too. That's the whole point, It's got to be you getting better. It's got to be self-development. It can't be... Maybe those people are just comparing themselves to the people on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the people that are getting paid to be fit or to be models or to be anything to that sort. So it's got to be relative to like this, to the scale of what you're comparing yourself to. Because to some extent, you have to be hard on yourself though too.
You do. But let's think about how to
think about yourself at an unfit age. So
basically,
beer
I just
bong and
started
beers
working out
when
a
you
lot
were
more.
30 pounds overweight in college.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you made a decision that you had to be hard on yourself to get to where you are now. 180, sleek, kill me strength test, 6-pack, yoked.
No.
Handsome, good beard,
I'm getting smoked.
stuff like that. You're getting smoked by kids running, that's for sure.
No, well,
it's amazing how fast they are.
But also with the chin-up challenge, man, I got some work to do for sure. But see, there it is again. Some people.
But some people.
What I just said, I got
every
some work
individual
to do.
test though. You're good at a lot of other tests.
Dude, I know. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get that. I didn't do it yet. I'm hoping to
thing.
get like 6 to 10, dude.
All right.
In 10 minutes,
Yeah.
Like you banged what, 36, 34, 36?
36.
So.
But
you're not
40.
happy with that.
The number's 40. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to say. And the only reason I'm working out, hit 100 chin-ups yesterday, is because
you want to get that number better.
That's not good.
Yeah, but they said if you get 40, you can steal the head cheerleader. Like
that's
40 is a good number.
That's the goal.
The dude doing 61 is a phenom. That's ridiculous.
The goal is to get the head cheerleader, man.
Yeah. All right, man. You can do whatever you want, bro. I'm happily
it's
married,
just a goal.
man.
Yeah, that's true. First question answered.
Yeah.
Frank's not on the market. Yeah, but anyway, I got the same mindset that I was just saying about not the dysmorphia situation, but it's like...
But it's like, when are you strong enough or when are you fit enough,
Never, I guess.
Like, I'm not even close.
But then it comes back to being body positive, man.
But should I be body positive because I'm stronger and leaner than I was? Or should I...
People would see you. What'd you drop, say, in the last year? How much weight?
45.
Are you happy with that, or you got some more to do?
I'm probably just going to keep going.
Exactly. Some people might see you and be like, you are the man. But you're not thinking that right now because you still got work to do. Right?
It's too far away.
Exactly. I see somebody banging 61 out. I'm like,
You're not
that's
there.
awesome. But then somebody seeing me get 36, I'm like, dude, that's
motivating to me.
That's crazy.
Right,
so
like, yeah, you're a beast.
Yeah, somebody's like, hey, it's pretty strong. And I'm like, no, it's 40% of what the world record is, so it's not that great. Deadlifting, benching, all that stuff. Remember that one Dan John story where they were like...
Yeah. Jack of all trades, master of none. Back to that, though.
How many guys
powerlifters are what?
Could bench 400, hands go up. 500, less hands go up. And they're like, all right, cool. You're
600, 3 people ever or something?
You're halfway to... people with the bench shirts could probably get close to 1,000 or no?
Yeah, they can.
So,
like
all right, cool,
Vanilla Grill and all those people bang over 1,000 with the bench shirts.
So, at 500 pounds, you're halfway to the world record. So, are you really strong?
No, we're weak.
And then look at me, not even near. Anyway, yeah. So anyway,
that's back to the scale thing, though. It's relative to who you compare yourself to.
So where are you setting the bar?
We got away from body image, I guess, or body image and body.
I guess if body positive, as long as you maybe you could not be. Just don't be negative. Don't be depressed about it. Don't think you're not good enough.
But don't be content either.
Don't be content. Yeah. So there's somewhere in the middle. It's not black and white. There's some gray area.
That's I exist in gray
area. So body positive. Me too, bro. You got body positive. You got body negative, which is terrible, which I hate it. It's where we're talking about people want to go out and get some stuff done to themselves when they're already like beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you're okay.
Why?
Yeah. That seems to be body negative in my opinion. Somewhere in between is where you want to live, I think. Not being content, still trying to strive for better. I don't know, man.
Because you got to, I get it though. You got to be comfortable in your own skin too. Because you got to be enough to get through that door or make that step,
And just not let that kill your day-to-day mentality, I guess, right? I mean, I don't know. Just keep working. That's it.
Does this come down to like a subconscious thing or like a conscious thing of like us controlling our own thoughts? Like with self-talk?
Do you do that?
Like your boy sometimes.
Who's my boy?
If I'm doing something hard, I definitely tell myself,
which boy of mine?
You got to man up and finish this. Don't quit. I say stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do self-talk, honestly. I'm not a big imagery guy. I'm not imagining myself doing it, but I'll be like, tell myself before I do something if I think it's going to be really hard, like, all in.
Yeah.
Don't fail.
What happens if you do fail? What happens if you know
Scrap it all, I guess.
You're going to fail?
Then you do fail, though. That's the point.
But like you're like, I'm not feeling it today. You know those people that are like, I'm gonna.
That's the problem with this jug program.
I'm gonna go run a mile.
Like no auto regulation, you know. Like some days you do feel good, some days you do feel bad.
So then what on the days?
But I think the auto regulation thing is a cop out too, right?
We already
because even on days I feel awful or I'm on percentage work, I'm still getting the work done. But I wouldn't have done that on a day I didn't feel so good. So maybe the auto regulation thing is just a way for me to cop out and not work so hard.
So auto regulation would be what? Just
like auto regulation would be like whatever. I had a 5x2 today.
5 sets, 2 reps.
But it felt like trash. So
I had like a high percentage.
But I would still get some work in, but I would not hit maybe the like threshold of where I should be hitting to get stronger.
Would you get the 5x2?
But the other day I would go for it. I would get the 5x. I would.
So you would get all the reps, but it just felt awful.
Yeah,
but that could be.
But it'll probably be at a minimal load. You would like regulate your load based on how you feel.
Okay.
So like one day you might be able to do 5 doubles at 455 in one day. I would do it at 405 because I just like don't feel good.
But then next Monday you're feeling.
What's the connection between the central nervous system though and like that stimulation and it actually moving? Do you ever feel like some days like you're moving weight and it feels horrendous, but if you actually tape it, it's moving?
No, I mean I just.
Or you don't really tape much stuff either.
Yeah.
I think it's a good tool. I used to think I was going to be like a douchebag, but like I think I can look at like body positions like or a D-bag.
No, you can say whatever you want.
Then,
I was just pretending I agree with you.
Yeah. But you can just look at like joint angles and things you have to fix, and like you can look at it over like a macro scale of like long term. If you look at like a year ago
like
and then compare it to now,
on the deadlift.
Yeah, I'm calling him out.
Saw it.
He's always on my right SI joint hurts because his knees caving in and he's not using his right glute. Like
wobbly knee situation.
Yeah. But you said it's just laziness. Because when you corrected it and actually drive your knees out, then it was way easier.
Yeah.
And it's probably way less susceptible to injury.
Which?
Can we parlay that into anything? Because we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, we are going to parlay the laziness part into something I saw yesterday. Working with the high school team, girls athletics, we practice the same stuff over and over. Basically, if you ever saw a lacrosse game, super unfair for the goalie. I don't know if it's like this for men because I don't watch lacrosse too much. But I've been watching, just because I'm working with this girls team, I've been watching it 8 meters away. That's like from me to like this beam behind me. You have the ball, you charge the net, and you shoot one. It's like the equivalent of a penalty kick in soccer. It's like if there's a penalty, the girl gets a ball 8 meters away, they charge and attack. Their coaches are getting frustrated because when they're in that set position, they're taking an extra step to get started. So they're taking like a false step is what some people would say. They would move a foot and then go forward as opposed to just going forward. Yeah. Or, just pick it up and then go. Or step to a lateral step and then go, whatever. They're wasting like a tenth of a second. And that tenth of a second is the difference between the whole defense collapsing in. Because once they blow it in, that person takes off, the defense collapse. It's nearly impossible to stop the shot if the girl's pretty good. Anyway.
Sounds accurate.
So I'm watching it yesterday. I mean, we practice this stuff every day. And I'm telling her, not every day, I'm not there often. Once every 2 weeks, say. But it's like, I'm telling the coach, these girls are physically capable of doing whatever you want them to do. Like, it's a good team. I'm like, they could do this stuff. But I'm watching them in their start position. They played a lesser opponent yesterday. I mean, their posture's off and stuff like that. And it's like, we don't do that in practice. So it's like, is it the lack of focus thing because they're playing a lesser opponent? They're just not really thinking. Like, is their brain focused on the ball in the net? Like, when we do it, we don't have the stick in hand. We're just drilling. We're drilling starts, basically. So maybe we need to up our practice a little bit, make it more game-like. That could be a solution. But anyway, it's just kind of a focus thing. And the same thing with the deadlift today.
Perfect practice makes it perfect.
I wasn't really thinking about it. I'm just getting in there and trying to get my reps in because we were going to do a podcast.
We're also ignoring, or probably like.
And I'm feeling like crap. We're talking about stupid stuff. Yeah.
Corey was here, so we were just busting on him most of the time.
Yep. Which nobody really knows him, but we'll get him on here. Corey,
he's coming.
With some burrito bowls, fajita bowls.
El Jefes.
But anyway,
in a bowl.
That was just the one pivot I wanted to talk about in the sense of like.
So you're talking about like execution though. You're not talking about inability to do something, but the actual execution.
I was physically
day in and day out of actually doing it.
Capable of picking that weight
100%.
up with good technique, but I wasn't at that time, and it felt like crap when I wasn't. Then all it was just a little cue, which I guess is the importance of having a coach or somebody else there to tell you what's going.
Would you say I just changed your life, bro?
No, just for the day.
Come on.
Not with that. Just in other areas. Yeah, I don't know, man. You got anything on that or no?
No, I mean it's a big problem because you look at all sports.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, just look at all sports, and that's kind of like how it seems. Like if you prepare the way you're going to play, you actually do it, and if you're constantly making, like, if you program that in, say that false step, look, multiple times, hundreds of times, thousands of times, you're probably going to recall that and do that. Mm-hmm. So is it just the volume of practicing that? Like once every 2 weeks they're practicing instead of practicing it every day at their practice. If it's actually that important.
No, they probably are with the
level
stick.
It, you know what I mean?
Just with me, when I show up, we're just doing movement stuff.
Yeah.
So when I leave, they're probably working that with a stick and on net and actually shooting.
So is it just like you need more attempts?
Potentially, I don't know. More reps to clean it up, but I don't know. They're physically capable of doing it, so I think it's a mental thing.
Trash reps get you nowhere.
I think it's mental. But I'm not. So coaching football, coaching the quarterbacks, you're covering somebody, and you watch the film, and a guy gets smoked, and it's like you practice the same stuff every week. How to cover, like say they're close to the guy, this close to him, on go. You take one move this way and then run right by me. I, as the defensive player, don't do what he was taught all week, but all week in practice he's doing it. So it's like, what happens? Is it a loss of focus? Who knows what? Is he playing timid? Like, these are things that happen in all athletics, and it's frustrating.
Reaction time down because he didn't sleep the night before?
Could be. Maybe he had a hoagie before the game.
Yeah, he's not fueled up properly.
He's ready for that nap.
Carbo loaded.
That halftime nap. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, and these are the things I don't miss.
The psychology of sport is pretty interesting.
I don't miss coaching for that. I mean, there's a lot of frustrating things, and that's one of them. And when I watch these girls play, I'm like, I definitely know what the coaches are saying, and they want me to help them bad, and I really need to because that's why I'm in there, you know?
Yeah.
So we got to figure it out and get it going. But
you just got to maximize your time with them.
And it goes through the whole not.
Because you only have like a,
hour.
Yeah, how much can you really help in that amount of time?
Yeah, so just
focus. But I mean, you have to maximize that time because that's what you get. But sometimes I think more time will help more too.
Perfect. I agree. Bam. Is it time for Pizzagate?
Pizzagate!
So this has been a hot topic. Not really. I sent
one of Chris's clients got mad because he was going back and forth about should he eat the pizza, should he not eat the pizza.
I think
the pizza's even gluten-free crust.
No, it was legit.
Dairy alternative. It was a real pizza.
Straight up pizza.
I didn't read this newsletter. I usually do. Check his newsletter out.
BrickHouseStrength.com. You could subscribe there, or even ChrisFluckPodcast.com. I need to get that list up, guys. Subscribe. Pizza. I'm in Bloomsburg. I'm out of town, hour and a half away, hanging out with the baby all day. Had a good, decent breakfast. Didn't eat. It's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. There's at least 12 slices laying around. At least. Some of them.
You didn't eat all day. You could probably hammer 6 of them.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
You're probably pretty hungry.
4 slice minimum.
Yeah.
Typical. But anyway, so I'm pretty hungry. There's pizza laying there, and I'm thinking to myself, should I eat this pizza or not? I mean, I know in the past, we talked about it. We're going to have to get in your story in a second. So in the newsletter, I'm saying I eat pizza, just usually a gluten-free crust. I don't really eat flour. Crushed pizza. I don't really care. Just not often. But I don't eat pizza from a normal pizza with, dough, flour, whatever. Just don't do it because I feel like crap. Tell your story quick. What happened to you a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, so basically I went over to my mother-in-law's house, and they just had pizza. We were visiting family, which is cool. But, I haven't been eating pizza, so I kind of eliminated, I guess, dairy and white flour to the most extent. But I feel weird socially not eating pizza. What am I going to sit there and not eat anything? And I'm hungry. So I ate 3 pieces of pizza, but it, ruined me. It was not worth it. Even that day, I didn't feel well. And then my stomach was wrecked probably for a day or two. It was bad.
What about your brain?
But I don't think it was a low quality. I mean, it is a low quality pizza, but foggy, brain fog.
I know, yeah.
Just in hindsight, people are just eat it. But it's maybe I shouldn't eat it.
3 years ago, I went to Syracuse, ate pizza. I think I even had a burger and a bun. I felt awful for 4 days, man. My head was just out of it.
So here's the interesting thing about all this, though. So when I was eating food like that more regularly, it feels like it doesn't affect you as dramatically. Is that because you're not used to how good you really could feel? You're constantly feeling like that?
I think it's both. Because it's exposure therapy where it's the kids now, they used to say don't eat peanuts, and then all these kids would have peanut allergies. So now they're hey, it's okay, expose them to that. So you want to, same with gluten, I think, with kids. So I think a lot of kids now, if they're not getting exposed to some of these things when they're young, if they eat it when they're 13, they're going to be wrecked. So I think if you're eating it often, you're exposed to it more. Maybe it's a little bit milder symptoms, but then maybe you're also in a brain fog all the time.
It's just a constant state of being a subpar dude.
Yeah, you're not really feeling great. Yeah, I think so anyway.
Cognitive functions down.
It was, yeah. So you notice that when you don't eat it for a while. It's just the elimination style diet or whatever. You cut something, reintroduce it.
And I crushed 3 pieces, though, so maybe if I had 1 piece, it would have been not as bad.
Probably.
So it could be a quantity thing, too.
3's not a lot.
I mean, I could polish
you could add 3
a
more
pie
at
for
least.
sure.
Sorry, 5 more.
Probably.
Yeah, it's easy to eat a whole pie.
Pizza's easy.
For sure. Which is we're going, so that I would call that a small fall off the wagon. All right, so we got a question from our friend Susan. Do you guys fall off the wagon? Short answer, yeah or no?
Yes.
Yeah, same here. But I'm not off for very long. How do you get back on, in your opinion?
How bad falling off? Any slip up, you're saying?
So here, let's say.
First of all, I don't beat myself up about small things. And
But
I'm
20 years.
I'm not a bodybuilder, so.
20 years of being off the wagon and you fall off, it's probably going to be harder to get back on.
On the wagon.
Yeah, but if you're off the wagon, if you're on the wagon, wait a second. Being on the wagon is good. Sorry.
Right.
If you're 20 years off the wagon,
off.
it's going to be hard to get back on. But if you get that mindset where it's like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm just going to get back after it the next day.
It's just a slippery slope because, think about it. If you haven't been,
the more you do it, I think the
if
more
you're an alcoholic and you stop drinking, so you're on the wagon for 10 years, and then you fall off the wagon for a day. Sometimes doesn't that escalate into
we're getting confused?
Russell Brand bender?
We're confusing
where you're buying crack and doing your thing.
Maybe
could.
Yeah. So if you fall off,
what do I do to get back on?
Yeah,
I honestly if I would eat, I didn't eat the next day. I just went into a fasted state.
Yeah.
But I also think about calories and stuff like that from a macro scale, so I'm not concerned about what I'm eating each individual day. So if I would eat a crap ton of calories today, I would just eat less calories tomorrow. And something about just giving my system it's like the processing thing too, though.
It's being positive though too.
Yeah, with the fasting though, it's like your digestive system has to process that crap out. So if I'm just piling more on top, I feel like it's overworked again.
I think sometimes it might be, I don't know, but anyway, it's like if you're in that negative mindset again, where you're not being positive about the situation and you're going to beat yourself up because you had 3 pieces of pizza, then if you're going to do it, just do it and get over it.
Yeah.
That's
true too.
I think just get right back on it tomorrow. I guess,
come back in with a fresh mindset.
Yeah. So, you're going to be
dwelling on it is going to make the issue bigger.
I was listening to it was Gabby Reese, you know her, the volleyball player?
Who's it?
Gabrielle Reese. She's on with Joe Rogan. She's
I know
married.
Carrie May.
She's
May.
married.
May.
Misty May.
Misty May, yeah.
Carrie Walsh.
Walsh, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, those two. But anyway,
beach volleyball.
Way back in the day, Gabby Reese was the superstar, and she was a model. She's married to Laird Hamilton, the swimmer. Do you know him at all?
Nah.
They got this cool stuff in Hawaii where they're doing a lot of cool fitness stuff underwater. Take those 20-pound dumbbells, go underwater, do this and that. I don't know. They got a lot of people Joakim Noah's out there, Tim Ferriss. It's cool stuff. They live this crazy life. Laird Hamilton, just really weird out there. You should see the drinks that he puts together. But yeah, she was just saying the same thing where it's if you're gonna eat that stuff, just eat it and don't dwell.
Don't let it ruin you.
It might ruin you physically for a day or two, but don't just compound it and just eat crap the next day and then the next day and be oh well, I'm 10 pounds heavier.
That's that snowball. It's either good or bad. If you're having positive habits and reinforcing them, it's going to snowball in a good way. If you're having negative habits and you allow them to happen, you don't have self-discipline, it's going to snowball in a bad way.
And I think sometimes it's, in those situations too, yours,
that window on the edge, if you screw up a little bit, just bounce back, man. It's all about that bounce back, right? Everybody loves a comeback story.
Boom. Get back on the wagon.
Back on the wagon.
ASAP.
We're heading Oregon Trail style.
And the more you've done it, though, so let me think. 10 years ago, I might not have been as good of getting back on track than I am now, just because I did it more and I kind of understand what the game is.
The
so
process.
if you've been eating like crap for 20 years and now you're trying to get better and then you fall off the wagon, that's probably going to be depressing because you don't want to go back to where you were before. So it's the more times you practice, it's like quitting. Don't quit on quitting.
Yeah,
I guess if you're a smoker,
yeah.
Don't quit on trying to quit. Just keep doing it because eventually.
Because they say it takes hundreds of times to try to quit smoking cigarettes usually.
If you want to give up eating cake, keep trying to give it up.
Yeah.
Eventually it's going to go.
And a healthier lifestyle is a healthier lifestyle. So the more good decisions you make, probably the easier it is to screw up, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going from 20 years of having trash quality food and a huge calorie surplus, and you are making certain good decisions like eating more vegetables, drinking more water, and then you screw up a little bit, you're still way better than you were.
A lot better.
But whereas if you're super strict all the time and you screw up, it's going to be like seem like this like huge paramount like shortcoming, this failure, you know?
Yeah, body positive again. Negative.
It's just like stepping outside the situation and looking in.
Oh, we talking detachment?
Yeah,
Jocko
right?
Willink style? Detach?
Yeah. Let's go.
Step yourself out of there.
Yeah.
See the whole field.
I like that.
Once you're able to do that, because you can take the emotion out of it. You know, you put yourself up in a box. I think Jocko Willink got injured and they were doing a training.
Take the emotion out of it. I like that.
And he was like, so when you're in the game there, you're in this like tunnel vision thing. You can't see the whole field. So it's like playing quarterback too. If you could just kind of detach and, you know, go from up above. Jocko got hurt, so he was able to watch the training up top, and he was like, oh my God, how are they missing this? You know, he was seeing these things from up above. And it was because he was tunneled in here and didn't just take a breath, take a step back and see everything. Matt Zimford talked about it with the firefighting stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you get outside, you put your gloves on, you take everything in, and then you go. You don't just go storming in there because then you're all emotional.
Yeah.
Your stress levels are high, and you're going to probably do something stupid. So it's about like taking.
So it's more than just fitness.
Yeah. So anyway, detach, view yourself from, you know, from up above or from the outside. Yeah, and then you could create a good strategy.
It's a challenging strategy to do though. Initially,
yeah,
you probably get better at it like anything, but
of course you're going to be upset though, like initially. So you're going to have to train yourself to not be. But
and deal with that.
It's all practice.
Just
it's
deal
life,
with it.
man. We're in this thing for life.
Just embrace that darkness.
Embrace another Jocko. I think you bring it up every time.
I do. I know.
So there's that. Detach. Embrace the darkness.
Embrace the darkness.
Prioritize and execute. Another one I like. So if you're trying to get back on the wagon.
Plug the book, bro.
No. If you're trying to get back on the wagon, figure out what the priorities are, what you're trying to accomplish, get rid of all the other crap, and then just execute from the top down. What's the main focus here? You know, is it all right to have a cupcake?
Don't let one decision dictate.
Is it all right for me
everything.
To go to Philadelphia and crush some cupcakes?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not doing it every day, and I know I'm not going to go home and eat pizza, burgers, all that other stuff. So figure out what you want to accomplish.
Depends on your goal, too. Like if you're a Glenn getting ready for a bodybuilding show.
Back in the day.
You can't be banging those cupcakes. But just trying to be healthy, you know.
You're a teenage Lehigh Valley?
He was?
Yeah, man.
Him and Justin Yurko.
Really?
Wasn't he?
Yurko? No, I don't know.
I think he was. This is savage.
Anyway. Yeah, you can't
I
do
didn't
that.
know Glenn was.
Him and his brother went back
Eugene?
to back. Teenage Lehigh Valley.
Chris Eugene Fluck?
Glenn.
Chris Glenn Fluck.
Yeah. My
right.
dad's name is Glenn.
And your middle name's Glenn.
It is, yeah.
Right.
The legend.
Mr. Lehigh Valley.
Teenage
Lehigh Valley.
back in the day. 155 pounds.
He still has a bar he bench 400 pounds
Strong.
on in here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. You're getting your dad into functional training now, though. He's getting more involved.
Yeah, for real.
More
He's
functional
been
training.
hanging out ever since he met you.
Yeah, it changed his
He's
life.
been,
You better believe that, bro. You better believe that.
What do we got
Moving
going on
on
here? Off the wagon. How you getting back on? Just keep trying.
Yeah.
Don't
Never
beat
quit.
yourself up.
If it's important to you, you're not going to quit.
Don't make excuses up. Just look yourself like David Goggins, getting brought up again. The dirty mirror, I think, is what he called it. Just look in the mirror and be honest. If you're 100 pounds overweight, say, I'm 100 pounds overweight and get after what you got to do. Or if you
It comes back to
did
action and not
something-
dwelling, right?
Yeah.
There has to be
And
action
be honest.
associated.
Be honest
you
with
know?
the situation. So that's why I think
Be honest.
that's where that detachment helps too, is that you could kind of just step yourself out, look at it all, be honest with what's going on there. Don't bullshit yourself. Don't make up excuses or explanations.
Bigger the
And
ditch, the
then
more
get
honest
back
you got to
on.
be sometimes.
Frank Donley quoted. I'll put that in the newsletter this
You
week,
should.
guys. We're gonna get into a little sports talk here. Yesterday, Johanna got a young girl,
So it's
softball pitcher.
the crossover between biomechanics and how people move on the field and moving in the weight room. And is there a carryover?
And your
Yes,
answer
there is.
was not how I would explain it. So let's get into this.
All right.
Because I think we say the same thing, but just in two different ways.
So basically, the issue is she's a pitcher. All right, so
Softball?
softball pitcher. So she's propelling forward, and biomechanically, so her forward knee,
Yep.
which is caving in. So she has a valgus knee in the front knee. But I said it was due to improper movement patterns and dysfunction at the glute, whereas if her glute was functioning, her knee wouldn't be caving in. But I think it's from a programming standpoint, so she's probably been doing that for long periods of time, but also from a relative strength standpoint, she might not have what's necessary to actually keep her body biomechanically in an adequate position that is injury-free and will help maximize her performance.
And because she was doing that for years,
it's going to be harder to break.
It just compounded the imbalance because you're strengthening that.
Cross over this too. She said also, then break it down into a weight room standpoint. Like when she's doing a lunge, she sees it as well.
Yeah, so the knee would be like the knee's coming inward inside the toe.
Yeah,
probably.
it's like caving pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Only on one side.
Well, my knee was doing
not
on
that
the deadlift.
bad.
All right.
They say if it goes, I mean, you can stay. If you waver like midfoot, it's one thing. Like if you go past that midfoot, like the further away you get, I think the more the issue is, obviously.
And with teenage girls, but also teenage boys. But I think you see it sometimes with the female population.
But also the foot thing, I think too. It could be like the ground contact, because I think that's also related to.
And then I would even talk about the ankle.
As well.
Then I would talk about the knee, and then you talk about the
hip.
Yeah. And then so you would say more like, rooting into the ground, fix your glute. But I would start thinking maybe the knee or the ankle is unstable. Maybe the knee's doing something it shouldn't be doing.
I would think the knee issue is being created by a different joint.
The hip.
So I think the hip, external rotation at the hip, so the glute would be dysfunctional, or the ankle, so you're not having good ground contact, which isn't creating torque, which isn't creating external rotation. So I wouldn't think it's a knee problem. I would think it's a little bit away from there.
Yeah, one joint up probably.
Or down.
Upstream or downstream. Whatever. It's hard to figure that out. But so with that then, I mean, there's some ways that you could put them in, you force them into that position, say. So let's say you do want to fix it. Obviously, you could just kind of do a lunge over and over again and try to be mindful of it like I was with the deadlift. You said my knee was moving
wavering.
Like this. So I just drove them out, made sure I kept them out the whole time. But I have some reps and some practice and some sort of knowledge-based understanding that.
And it's all individuality, because if your knee was already pushed out, you wouldn't want to use that coaching cue, but for you, it worked.
Right. Her situation, she might have some imbalance going on. Her body's growing, whatever. I'm not sure how old she is. She's like in 8th grade. So it's like some kids are a little leggy maybe, and I don't know, their bodies aren't working right yet because it's not fully developed. So, you could build some strength there. Maybe it's
I think there would be
standing on one leg,
strength.
Doing some of the stuff that you do on one leg. She might have some instability, and you could maybe try to fix that at the ankle.
It could be building unilateral strength. It doesn't have to be bilateral.
I think unilateral strength, Mike Boyle's getting brought up again. Unilateral strength is the key for athletic performance.
Bro.
He wants to
MASH elite.
I didn't listen to that one. But anyway, everything's on one leg in athletics for the most part.
85% of sport happens off one leg. So, I think it's the old statistic.
So the focus, old school.
Well, I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like 10 years ago.
But everything's on one leg.
On a daily,
so let's get strong.
10-year periods.
Let's be
decades.
strong. Let's be stable on one leg, and try to fix things that way, maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, kids, though, I mean, we had some others come in too.
Action, man. Take action. Fix it.
So what do you do instead of?
Don't you think it's going to compound?
What do you do? Stop throwing and fix the issue now.
No, I could currently do it.
Yeah,
I think you can currently do the strength training.
Prioritize and execute, though.
If the right musculature and strength is built, that it would prioritize and execute.
What's the priority? Throwing 60 balls when you're 12 years old, or trying to fix the situation?
I think she should fix. You got to fix it now. You can't wait.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just going to get harder and harder. Yeah.
Because then what you were saying, you're just building. Great cook, FMS guy.
Yeah.
You're putting strength on top of dysfunction. You don't want to do it. If you have dysfunction somewhere, you have to fix it first and then build strength on top of that later. Because if you do the opposite and you continue,
and you might go backwards at first. You got to accept that.
Which is cool. It's fine.
Yeah. But long term, it's going to be a greater ceiling.
You might end up going at 90% of your full capability for 2 months, but then you're going to be at 105% when you fix it and you get back on
Your
track.
percentage is the best.
So we're there.
105%.
105%. That's a little bit over.
It's a little over 100%.
It's a little over a hundo. No, your previous hundo.
Some might consider that.
You're going to exceed your previous 100. I wouldn't consider it that. All right. Anyway, man, we had injuries there. I worked with a gymnast back in the day. Girl's body broken down, bad back. Somebody else came in here talking about their knees, broken back. We start talking. Does the NCAA even care about their athletes?
In my opinion, I do not think they care about their athletes. I think they care about what ruins a lot of things in this country, which is greed and money.
Boom. Do we need to even go? I think we do. I want to talk about coaches quick, too.
Do you think should collegiate athletes be paid? We might have already talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
But you think they should, and I think they should. So go wherever
they
you're
should
going.
get some money. It's just too shady everything is too shady from the NCAA to the coaches. some guys.
Why do the coaches get paid? Everybody on the field, refs get paid. People videotaping it get paid. Everyone gets paid except the people doing the freaking work that's making the money.
I don't know.
You know what I mean, though? Like, everything surrounding that. Like, the fans are paying money to go see these guys.
They're getting a free education.
The coaches are getting paid. Like, what if you don't want an education? What if you don't want that education?
Would you just go straight to the league? Honestly.
In different sports, you couldn't, though.
I know.
It's not feasible.
I know.
It's not realistic. It's not intelligent. It's downright dangerous, what some might say.
It is. You're right. 19-year-old trying to play in the NFL.
Get out of here.
Crushed.
Yeah.
You know what you see it? I would see. I used to see it in college wrestling when we'll go watch some of my friends wrestle. Say that dude's a 5th-year senior, 6th year maybe. He's like 24. Then he's wrestling a 19-year-old. Like the freaking body, the difference is huge.
Astronomical.
One's a freaking grown man, and the other one's still developing. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about football, then a collision sport where you got 24, 28, 32-year-old dudes that are freaking monsters playing against a 19-year-old.
Yeah, medical red shirt, normal red shirt, 6 more years of weight training.
That's not even what we're talking about.
25.
That's not even what we're talking about. We're talking about NCAA being coaches. I think I want to bring up the fact that, like, you know, you see these recruiting stuff going on, and it's so annoying. Like, my friend in college showed up to a university. The coach is showing him around. I had a friend on the wrestling team. This was at Bloomsburg, right? So my best friend growing up was coming on a visit to Bloomsburg. My buddies that wrestled were like, our coach is leaving. He's going to Bucknell. That coach is showing my buddy around the school, telling him, hey, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And he freaking knew he was leaving. Yeah. And he knew he was gone. And he was gone in like a month or two. And, it's a freaking job for them. And you know what? They're going to take that up. They're going to take an upgrade. Like, loyalty is...
It's kind of just like being a politician, I guess.
No, it's about someone's going to offer you $10,000 more, $35,000 more to go coach the same sport somewhere else.
You're going to bounce. But like but you're only caring about your own agenda.
Right.
Instead of, I mean, especially from an athletic standpoint, you're trying to like build character and build.
Or is it just a job to you? If it's a job to you, you're going to go take the pay raise. Yeah. Like, that's what I hate about the NFL, where people are like, these guys get to play a game for a living. Maybe they don't like the game. Like, maybe that's their only skill, and they're just out there doing it because they're making $1 million. You know? Like, they don't
like
have to be
90% of the rest of America that doesn't like their job. They're just doing it to pay the bills.
And they're getting used and abused. So it's like, why would you expect this guy to be loyal to an organization if he could go make $7 million more this year to go play for another
Steelers
team?
Or the
Browns. Or the other
Watch
shit
out
teams.
for those Browns.
Who's got the first pick, man? Freaking, I just saw this yesterday. I was surprised to see it.
I don't even have TV anymore.
I think I was at it getting a burrito bowl. No, I'm just kidding. Where was I? And I saw somebody's on the clock.
First pick. Who did awful last year? Dolphins?
Nah, dude, I don't know. Anyway, let's not even try to get into this. The Dolphins.
Someone was awful last year for sure.
I thought it was like a playoff team a couple years ago, so I was surprised to see they anyway.
It doesn't matter.
No, be careful, you know, and also too, we're talking
just take
about
everything
this
people
week.
say with a grain of salt too.
Oh, this is
I think
the perfect.
not even just them bouncing, but like they would look at you and say you have a good shot to play next year. When in their head they're like, this kid's probably going to develop in 3 years. But they'll say anything to get you to that university.
Yeah, you're right, and also the problem too is like.
And do your own research. You know, look at who's ahead of you. If that's your main goal is to go to a school you want to play right away, because a lot of kids that go to college to play sports because they love the sport, you know. So like, look, you go see like if they have
to be honest with themselves. They can't be
starting guards that are sophomores that are probably going to play for the next 3 years.
But that kid thinks he's the man. I was the best guard in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm going to go there.
Such a small,
I've been the best freaking guard.
Big
my whole
fish
life.
in a small pan, or in a pan, small pool, whatever, small pond.
Or pan.
Big fish in either. He's probably getting cooked when he's going to college anyway, so we'll go with pan.
Yeah, so it's like
it's just a different level.
So you got to be real too. It's tough, and like, you know, every coach. I talked about this the other day, and I was hoping one dude who played college football was going to chime in.
What percent go?
But it's like,
what percent of college players go to the NFL?
I think it's like
less than one.
Less than one. Tony Dungy's one book is like he was at the University of Minnesota.
Maybe baseball's better.
Division I program. No, baseball.
Baseball has more teams.
Yeah, but you're a pro.
They have field teams. Money. Well, that's true too.
Those guys are trying.
But you're a professional athlete. You're making money.
Right.
You're not making. They're making more money than me.
Dude, we would have to look. We need somebody to look.
I know.
They're not making no. If you're playing low single A ball, you're not making money.
Equivalent to what?
My dad. At a factory.
So you're saying your dad's making more money than
at a factory than that guy? Yes, I would say that. Can I back it up with numbers? No, but I'm pretty sure of it. Or
what's he do at the factory?
Freaking works
operations.
He owns it. He's the owner now.
Yeah, I agree.
No, he unloads trucks and shit like that.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
I wish we had someone to look this up right now, but let's go past that.
Oh, everybody calls, hey, say this kid's the biggest a-hole on the planet. Doesn't do his work, terrible teammate, always had an injury in the weight room, but yet was a great performer on Friday night, say, in football. Coaches, college coaches come up. They ask high school coaches, hey, what's up with Jimmy, man? The coaches lie. High school coaches lie all the goddamn time. And I'm like, just not all the time. There's some coaches that'll say, hey, you might not want this kid, but it's like, even the high school coaches are bullshitting their way up. Just we got this kid, we got a Division I. We put out 4 Division I kids, or 6 of our kids are going to play college next year. Stuff like that. It's like it's all ego driven.
Yeah,
I guess it sounds like it is. But yeah, and I'm like, just I don't know. I guess honesty is tough to come by. Even job recommendations. Somebody say we have an intern here that's awful.
Yeah, I would still say he did good.
You would, right?
If you put me down, yeah. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus. I guess I'm a scumbag.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem.
You know what I'm saying? No, everybody would
do.
do what you're doing. Not everybody, but people would do what you're doing. Unless the kid was like,
I mean, if he was stole
showing
from
up
me
late
and
some guys back in the day, what they would do at the LA Fitness.
Oh yeah, I would stay away from all that.
So some guy sneaking around, say with somebody else's woman, their lady friend, you probably wouldn't want to recommend that to, but who knows? Anyway.
No.
I just don't know why. Honesty's too much, I guess.
Human nature, I guess.
Now I want to go. Speaking of dishonesty, false claims. You brought this up. I don't even know which way you want to go with this. I'm going to let you take the lead.
All right. So false claims. We can look at multiple industries too.
Let's do it.
You're going to look at it like
the cellulite industry.
We'll come back to. Oh, we already talked about the cellulite industry.
But it's there too.
Yeah, but that's part of the supplement industry.
Yeah.
Or patenting equipment that I don't necessarily think works when you could look at losing body fat. But the supplement industry basically makes billions of dollars, right? So they're going to have single-sided, possibly small sample sizes, whatever they need to do to get these, studies passed that are going to prove their point. So Chris Fluck, if you take the supplement, you're going to have a 100% increase in whatever, muscle protein synthesis, 105%, muscle synthesis. So they're doing that. It's just not true. It's just skewed in that direction. But I think the same thing, that might be not the best example, but the same thing's happening in the fitness industry, because the general, Mary and Joe Schmo might not know realistically what is possible with a strength and conditioning program. So I think people make a lot of false claims, as in whatever. It can be whatever. So I lost 15% body fat and gained 8 pounds of muscle in the first 3 months of training. Would you believe that?
Oh, I know where you're going with this one. No. No.
But that's what people proclaim these things,
like that one
because you want to see that flat, like that one.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's even physiologically possible. And I think it's extremely, I don't want to say impossible, but it's extremely difficult to lose body fat and gain muscle mass at the same time, unless you're extremely overweight and have no exposure to training. But it's probably, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, it would be extremely hard to do. If you're trying to lose body fat, you probably want to be in some kind of calorie deficit, right?
Yeah.
If you want to gain muscle mass, you need to be in a calorie surplus.
Ask why you can't. Because
they're on separate ends of the spectrum, right?
You need to feed the muscle with some stuff.
So what if you're not eating any protein or whatever's necessary for protein synthesis to build your muscle? So you just dramatically change all that? You think you can have an exponential? I think that the methods I'm not necessarily saying people are doing this to lie to people. I'm saying the methods people use to measure some of these variables, like some of the impedance machinery that gives body fat, gives them lean muscle mass, and gives all these variables, is just able to be skewed if that's a person changing it from normal to athlete, or if that's hydration levels or other variables, different times of the day. I think there's not good, it's not like they're getting in a bod pod to see their body fat change. There's variable, and I think they're just making claims that aren't true.
Yeah.
A lot of places.
I'm with you 100%. And with the, we've done it too. We used to work at a gym where they want us to measure people all the time.
Yeah, 36 spots, so you can make the gain seem better, right?
Yeah, so it's like, you lost 4.25 inches.
Instead of doing 3, they're doing 12, so that you can say they lost more inches.
But it's user error too on that crap.
Yeah.
Like oh crap, this person gained 1. Let's just tighten it up a little bit around their neck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's the same.
Or last time you did like around the umbilicus, maybe it's a quarter of an inch up. That's going to change the measurement on the same day.
But.
And the industry, back to the supplement thing real quick. We were talking about bigger, faster, stronger the other day. Like making people, they make themselves look to have more body fat or more muscle in the same day.
I could gain 10 pounds in a day.
Yeah.
We could go eat that pizza.
But you could also like have a posterior pelvic tilt, push your gut out, have awful posture, and then all of a sudden, look, you get your spine neutral, you squeeze your glutes, you suck that sucker. What's that called in bodybuilding? Vacuum that thing in.
Get a lat spread.
Lat spread.
Lat spread.
You're telling me you're not looking better? You're looking a lot better. And all I had to do was take that supplement for 2 months, bro.
Did you say lighting?
Lighting for sure. Game changer.
Maybe get a little tan.
Angles too, even.
Possible tan situation?
Yeah, spray even.
Spray it up.
Maybe some of that rub-on stuff.
Yeah, so it's all crap basically. Is what. So, what does it come back to then? Say your vitamins.
I don't want to
say your prayers like Hulk Hogan when that dude was juicing himself up.
Vitamin, yeah. That's it. I mean, steroids is a crazy thing, dude. I think it's crazy that Hawthorne World's Strongest Man, the Mountain, comes out and says he had an interview that basically said he uses steroids. Then they asked him if he's currently using them and what quantities, and he said, "Pass this on." And people are like, "No!" Like they're like heartbroken. It's
Game
like
of Thrones actor using steroids.
Like,
who cares?
are you joking? Like, how do you think he's not? Like anybody at those elite levels, a lot of those people at those elite levels, in any sport, cycling using EPOs, football trying to get back from an injury, world's strongest man, like people usually, he's 6'9", 400 pounds with a 6-pack, bro. He's deadlifting over 1,000 pounds, like
literally the strongest man in the world, and you don't think he's taking something?
That's my point. Like, why are people surprised?
Especially
still?
what we lived through in the last 25 years with
doping, Balclaw, Lance Armstrong,
McGuire, Bonds, Armstrong, UFC.
I miss that baseball, man. Those guys were hitting dingers.
That's why I don't watch it anymore.
Yeah,
man.
It's not even fun to watch.
Those juiced up guys.
Yeah, I like that with thick necks, smacking 70 home runs. That was
sending
awesome.
Them into the freaking river.
Yeah,
or in that body of water.
I would be swimming in that river trying to get that ball, bro.
Some might say that was a golden era. Some might say
baseball. I think maybe you're right. There is something about it though, because I can name all those. Well, I could just stop watching it, I guess. But that's, I guess, why. I can name, like, if you would ask me a baseball player now, it would be, Mike Trout? I don't know.
Well,
like, I couldn't name more than 10.
That high school kid was in here, Bap Sizzle.
Yeah, he can name them all, though. He can name a whole team.
He challenged me to name 30, and I think I got about 17 baseball players. I was digging for some, too. But I always thought throwing out names from, like, 12 years ago. I was hoping they were still in the league. But, yeah, baseball's not for me right now. But going with the
sports
the juice,
too, but also Hollywood and stuff too, I think is dirtier than people give it credit for.
Yeah, false claims everywhere.
Like if you're gonna pay me $20 million, like I like to be on my thing and be like, yo, I wouldn't do it. But like if you said, yo, Frank, here's $20 million if you look this way, and the only way to look this way in this time frame is to take this, it'd be hard to say no.
But you could, you could get serious with everything for 10 weeks, get super ripped, supplement it a little bit with your doctor might be able to get you some testosterone.
Yeah, TRT.
Some growth hormone, something.
And, whatever.
But, I mean, that was happening in the UFC. Guys were they would take steroids, they would get off the steroid, get their testosterone tested by a doctor. Their T levels would be down because they just got off the juice. And then they would get prescribed testosterone. So there were some guys, I forget the one dude, Vitor Belfort, like you should see the pictures of his. So he was at kind of the end of the line, gets on this TRT stuff, freaking gets yoked, starts winning again, and then they ban it and say we can't do this anymore. He's getting knocked out, losing again, and that's a wrap. Now this is one of the greatest fighters like in his weight class of all time, but like, it's like, why wouldn't I don't know? You're freaking competing, trying to make a living. These guys are gonna cheat.
Yeah.
And if you think that, watch Icarus, you didn't freaking watch it.
It doesn't even have to be to get to that level. It could be to prolong a career too.
Recovery too.
That might be even more.
But we're going with baseball. You go back in the 70s, the guys were taking amphetamines, greenies, whatever they were
They're
called.
still taking amphetamines.
Yeah.
They're just prescribed to them now.
Wait, is it Ritalin or Adderall? It's Adderall.
Baseball actually has the highest, I forget what I was listening to. They said that. They said baseball has the highest percentage of athletes that are on amphetamines prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah, no, I heard that too. Adderall, though, I think.
Adderall,
I think it's Adderall, yeah.
But it's a performance enhancer.
It is, but there's people.
So you're saying that baseball is driven to people with ADD and ADHD? Or it's just a loophole, right?
Here's a question for Frank.
That's what's up.
Concert pianist needs to get his mind right. He's taking Adderall, performance enhancer.
Adderall.
Fire him?
I'd let him
Tell him
rip.
he's a cheat.
Nah, maybe
or
that
go
money,
enjoy his
bro.
music, right? Yeah, so
do that.
it's interesting how in some areas,
Shooters,
guys that are tech
beta blockers,
they talk about the tech guys.
Pick a sport you can name a way to
But
cheat.
the tech dudes, dude, drink coffee and do some computer work. You're gonna be able to do it for 5 hours.
Crush it.
Don't drink coffee and do some computer work for
20
15 minutes. I'm like, God damn it, this is boring.
Yeah. No, you're right though.
It's the same stuff, man.
Yeah.
Just different levels, different scales.
Yeah.
So whatever.
So coffee is a performance enhancing drug.
It's banned NCAA. 8 cups. 8 cups equivalent. You take a couple caffeine pills and you get tested, you're getting popped.
Is that true?
It is, yeah.
I didn't know
think it's the
that.
equivalent of 8 cups.
Sudafed too.
Is it?
I know they were abusing Sudafed for a while because it had a stimulant-like effect.
My one roommate in college.
Saying they like had the sniffles.
They had.
They also it's more regulated now because people are making meth out of that kind of stuff too, though.
He was sick, and he had practice like midday, and he thought he took Tylenol AM. Like the daytime stuff. He took the PM and had to go to practice. He had to tell his coaches that he was like, they probably thought he was on drugs. He showed up all drowsy and shit. And he took the wrong stuff. What a dummy. But that was funny, man. All right, so I got 3 more here, man.
Keep rolling.
I'm coming at somebody. They don't listen to this podcast, so it's all good. But if they are, you know who I'm talking to.
I'm sending it to him for sure.
Freaking getting pictures of their Apple Watch, tell me how many calories they burn at some sort of aerobic workout where they're using like 8-pound weights, probably doing squat thrust, burpees, mountain climbers, whatever. Basically aerobic training with light weights, I would say, not even moderate weights. They get this good calorie burn, short-sighted approach, or yeah, all right. So I know you're.
Well, why do people even just? You can look at a lot of those aerobic classes in general, not even just the one with mini weights, but a lot of those people, if weight loss is their goal,
long
or
distance
body loss,
running as well.
Yeah, like they initially do have gains, but then what happens? What were we talking about when we were talking about body fat loss? Efficiency, right?
Settling.
So like you're getting more efficient at that. The stimulus is going to be less. You're going to get less from that long term.
And then we didn't even touch into the fragility part of the humans, anti-frail. Bam.
Yeah.
If you're doing...
Can I plug it?
Yeah.
I got a tank top color, Sport Tech. I got, Sport Tech coming out. I got different dry fit shirts coming out. I got tank tops coming out. They're going to be sweet.
I got some tanks.
You got tanks too?
They were delivered last Thursday. I didn't pick them up, though.
Why?
I didn't see the email till today. I got to go get
them
those.
on the streets, man.
I know. I need to. But the fragility part, getting back on track. People could do the short-sightedness stuff. They could go out for a run. I was talking to a man this morning about bodies breaking down, runners. Long-term, man, I think getting stronger, putting on some lean muscle mass, building that bone density is going to help you when you're 43, 53, 63. If you just run or you're doing the aerobic style stuff, I mean, you have to fight Father Time a little bit. And you're losing lean muscle mass every year once you get in your 30s.
So it's going to be even harder to burn that 1,200 calories you're looking for each class too.
So then when you get older, you do the same crap that you did when you were 28, now you're 38, and it's like your body's just not going to burn the same way.
No.
Throwing a couple kids in the mix, now your hormones are a little jacked up, you can't do it. You're probably not getting back to that same weight. It happens in weight class sports too, where guys get older, the more weight cuts they make to get down, like nasty weight cuts, their body's just not going to be able to get back down. After 4 or 5 of those nasty weight cuts, they're just like done. They can't even physically get down there anymore.
But it's just back to like a little bit of something's good, right? But too much of it is just not. Like just because a little bit of something worked doesn't mean a lot of that is going to work 10 times more. If you increase that by 10, you're not going to get 10 times the results.
No, you won't.
You probably end up getting jacked.
So anyway.
Some of the people that you can gain lean muscle mass in all these different rep ranges. I know certifications are big on these like hypertrophy, muscular endurance, strength, like power, like breaking it up by like reps and stuff like that. But I think there's like some confusion there too, because like I feel like people do really well staying at the lower end and like doing a 5x5, so getting 25 total reps. They're gonna get leaner, but people think they need to stay at these like high rep ranges, and I don't think that's necessarily the best. I think those are usually the people that abuse the lower amount of weight.
Mean?
Like,
what does hypertrophy mean?
Gaining lean muscle mass size.
Gaining
the size of the fiber.
Size of the fiber is going to grow.
Yeah.
So people want to tone up. Though. They want to get tone, and they're doing 3 sets of 12 at a moderate weight. It's like that's hypertrophy
but if
training.
that hypertrophy work, it's
hypertrophy training. Yeah. It's going to build to muscle.
Yeah.
Not make you toned and get smaller. The strength, the heavy lifting stuff, that muscle will get more compact, and I think it's going to be smaller if you're trying to get stronger, doing in that 5 sets of 5 rep range.
Yeah.
Where you're doing 25 total reps.
You just look aesthetically more pleasing.
You start doing an exercise where you're doing 36 to 60 reps or 50 reps.
And I think it's safer, man. Don't you think? Like sometimes they're like really high reps. Like there's more. You were saying how lazy you are on a deadlift. You're doing 1, 2, 3, 3 times. Can you imagine doing 10 sets of 15? There's more of a risk for injury there.
I did 18.
I would rather do 6 singles.
I did 18
or
total
whatever.
reps.
You know, ladder. Dan John. Boom.
We forgot to mention him.
Shout out.
First time.
Shot to every time.
Every time, Dan.
He's good.
We should get him on. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sad.
I know.
Talk about the most epic podcast of all time.
He changed my life.
Mine too.
Every book I've read, every book.
I loved it.
Easy Strength changed my life.
He's just a great writer.
Him and Pavel.
It's easy to read.
Yeah, guys, get stronger. There's some places for some aerobic training.
And you can aesthetically look better and be stronger. I mean, muscle strength is huge.
You're not going to get bulky.
You're going to joint stability. Like you were talking about metabolic rate and stuff. You build keep that metabolic rate high as you go. Yeah, you're going to build bone density more. So like through the decades, osteopenia, osteoporosis are not issues. I think you need to do it.
I mean, you'll still get that. You'll still get that.
You want to talk about fear?
It's
like
resistance
people are scared
training,
of it, right?
So you're still going to potentially build that bone density when you're doing weights, but we just think that you're going to have a better long-term. Better long-term approach is maybe driving the weights up a little bit and really challenging yourself that way.
Are you going to gain more bone mass doing a 5x5 on the deadlift though, or
I know, I agree.
5 sets of 15 of a isolation bicep curl,
5x5.
Olympic lifting, like compound lifting, like all those big lifts.
But what if you did a reverse lunge?
You're going to get more stimulus.
A reverse lunge, staying down there, hitting a curl, pressing it.
Muscle perfusion we're talking about. We're talking about the 2000s right now?
Switching. No, I'm just talking about
I think it'd be a great exercise as long as you overload the system.
We gotta overload the system.
You got to progressively overload in some capacity, like we talked about earlier.
All right, man.
I don't think there's anything wrong with working out like that if that's how you enjoy working out, because at some point you need to like what you do too.
What about some of the gyms?
Why do people get so bored?
I don't know. Do you get bored?
Lifting? Nah, I love it.
I don't usually get bored.
I don't either, but people think like
I
focus on like because we only do.
I've literally been doing.
We don't do that much stuff.
I only like 3 lifts.
Yeah. What's the third? Chin ups.
That's my new enjoyment. Like
front squat, clean chin up.
Yeah. Overhead
Sometimes
press.
less is more though. Like
give it a 1-arm
look
press.
if you look at people from a beginner, novice to advanced lifting, usually the people at advanced lifting are doing less exercises and less things in general, right?
Yeah, it's like you expose people to a bunch of stuff maybe in the beginning, but then
kind of like kids. I guess
as you get older, you just kind of dwindle down. And then if you become a specialist, then you're working on 1 to 2, 1 quality, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quadrants, Dan John.
Yeah.
I don't remember them, but I know they're in the books. Different quadrants.
Q1 athletes, anyone under 18, as many motor patterns as possible.
So when you go out to these
Q2
things,
collision sports, Q3.
I was talking about that.
Q4 is a specialist, right? Q3.
I don't know. I got the book up there. Apple Watch, different aerobic classes.
Get more.
You know the My Zone things up top.
Yeah, the people love
competition stuff.
Good and bad.
About the mental side.
Good, the bad, the ugly.
We talked about it early, man. What do you think? Good for everybody, bad for everybody?
I don't think you can pigeonhole it like that. I think some people are going to do really well with competition and be able to recover. I think some people are going to push themselves too far out of the comfort zone and get injured. Best way to get in long-term shape is to stay healthy, man. I think I see a lot of injuries with competition style. Not competition style, so I like competition. I don't like competition every single workout, every single second of every single workout. I think some competition can be very beneficial. I think too much competition can be very detrimental.
That's the best thing I heard all day.
Sweet spot.
Not every day. You can't be bashing your head against the wall every day. Can't do it, man. You're going to break down.
I mean, you've tried it, right? Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, 100%. Boom, that's it.
That was
solved.
Awesome. That was good.
That was the best answer. Hour and a half.
We got to turn that into micro content on YouTube.
We got. What do we got? Hour 15 into it. One more question. Not even a question. This is just a sad day here at the gym. Sad week, man.
Yeah, we're losing clients, man.
My
Some
girl,
really cool people.
One of my favorites of all time.
Green.
Short-lived.
Yeah, she was good, though.
She came in for a few months hot. and then you got Mare Dog.
Yeah, Mare Dog. She's come a long way. She's moving.
I haven't seen her
Clients
in ages.
move.
Clients move.
This is what I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to do some online programming for her to keep her like kind of like in the training system and the philosophy. But I think a lot of people have hesitation and like anxiety, possibly, and fear finding a new gym. Like, what kind of gym should I look for? what should I, there's like different CrossFit style gyms. You can go to an LA Fitness and start taking classes. You can go to a Planet Fitness versus a Metro Flex. Like, I think it's very intimidating for people to make that change. So, like, what's good advice? What would your advice be? Like, where should they go?
Wait, specifically where should they go?
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, like, how should they look for? How should you get outside of your box of what you're so comfortable doing? Because if you've done it. Well, she's longer term. She's done it for years. You've had a girl doing it for months who's done really well. What's your best advice?
I think it's like that exposure therapy situation where, like, if you're scared of something, if you're scared of heights, or if you're scared of
get it yourself on something high.
If you're scared of, give me a good example, spider, deathly afraid. Maybe just one day somebody said, "Hey, I'm just going to bring a spider in this room. It's in a cage. We're going to put it on the shelf, stay here for a minute, whatever." And then over time, you're able to get a little closer to it. The spider, the tarantula is allowed to be in that room a little longer. At the end of it, you slowly expose yourself to something. You're able to hold that tarantula at the end of it. So if you're going to a new gym, I think you're going to have to be uncomfortable. Maybe go in, check it out first. Say, "Hey, all I'm going to do is just go in, see what's going on there. Maybe I'll leave." Then next time, hey, like, don't even change for the gym. Just go look at it. Next time, maybe try something out. That's if you're totally afraid.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you just...
Nah,
or like some people could...
I said, just if you have a program to do, I was like, dude, it's just you're going to be exposed to so many different training styles and so much, like, fluff. And the smaller training facilities like this, sports performance and strength and conditioning facilities, just control so many of the variables that aren't controlled in those kind of gyms. So you're going to see, like, a lot of people that are possibly... aimlessly working, possibly like people like just hanging out on their cell phones, taking up equipment,
but there could be
doing
shitty
things that are
dudes
ridiculous.
Or females there too.
Yeah,
they're like, they might be the owners, and they might have the coolest space in the world.
Yeah,
but if the dude's a total dick, it's like,
get out.
You're gonna have to go elsewhere.
Yeah,
but then there might not be elsewhere.
Like, even like corporate gyms, if you just throw your headphones in and go do your business, like
you have to be able to survive. I think at a corporate gym because there might not be an alternative. Like you could move to some state that
doesn't even.
Lucky if you got an LA Fitness somewhere or Max Fitness or whatever. So. I think so. I guess on one end of it, you're just gonna have to. Go.
Don't dip your toe. Just get in there.
Yeah, follow a program
or
that you've
dip
done,
your toe
or maybe just say, "Hey,
knee.
I'm gonna do this because I've done it before." Know that you could do that in any gym imaginable, and then start from there, and then eventually get comfortable, feel some things out. I don't know. What do you think? What are you gonna tell Mare Dog? Does she know where she's going?
Not yet. I told her to go check out all the gyms. Yeah, there's like 2 different ones. I was like, go check them all out. Like,
that's
try
all
to find,
you can do. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And if one
make sure it doesn't not allow deadlifting if you love to deadlift, like.
That's probably good advice. If you like,
but there's like gyms you would go that wouldn't allow you to do the things you love. Like that would be obviously an awful fit for you.
So if you
got to find the fit.
Like, no dumbbell over 35 pounds or something. I think there's some gyms that don't have
probably
super
won't
heavy ones.
Work that well.
Not for the people you're training.
Yeah, not squat.
All freaking yoked. Strong as.
I just believe in free weights, man. I think a lot of like machines and Smith machines are like not based on.
If you go to a gym and you're used to free weights and they don't have them, then that's probably not a good long-term gym for you. So if you want to adhere and stay pumping iron, you probably got to find a good
Jack and Steel.
Or you just set the home gym up, man. Get some kettlebells out in the garage.
Yeah, if I ever don't do this as a profession anymore, I'm just going home gym.
Home gym for sure.
I mean, I need a barbell, some plates. I mean, 1 kettlebell would be cool if I need it.
2.
Squat rack, so I can have a pull-up bar.
That's it.
I mean, you could do very minimally and be fine.
I agree. It's pretty much.
I was reading an article about the lymphatic system too, with fat loss.
Hit it. This is not my specialty. So.
I thought it was interesting. So it was saying that a big reason that people are unable to lose body fat too could be their lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is basically, you have lymph nodes all over your body, so in your neck, in your groin, in your armpits, and all these things. And I guess that system is responsible for a lot of things. So it like identifies infection. It can like distribute or kind of like shuttle around things, and it can eliminate like toxins and do a lot of these things. But I guess one of the things that it is also responsible for is basically transporting like free fatty acids from the body to the liver so it can be like processed. So it has a huge thing to do with like fat oxidation or fat metabolism. So I thought it was kind of interesting. The whole point of the story was the people that basically are doing, how like people used to train like one body part and like isolate. They're just saying like the lymphatic system doesn't have like a heart like the cardiovascular system has. So it doesn't have this organism that's a catalyst for pumping blood all over your body. So what moves the lymphatic system? Like what's the catalyst? Movement.
Boom.
So basically they were saying like how much better doing these like full body splits are compared to doing like these even lower and upper splits, which I've tried all kinds of splits, but I just thought it was interesting too that if people are thinking, you know, about different reasons of why gut health is another big one too, I think, but like digestive system, but your body, like this homeostatic, like these systems that are screwed up can also be a reason why you can't lose body fat. Yeah. But I never really looked into the lymphatic system before, but I thought that was interesting.
So, well,
but like,
I mean, going back to that beginning too, where it's like just going out for walks, like things like that, moving your body around.
Yeah, movement.
It's going to get that system functioning a little bit better.
Yeah.
And you hopefully will get some results out of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you want to check your phone to see if you got some questions?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Write them on here, if there are.
Should I write down like fake ones if they're not?
Yeah. No, so basically we tried.
Black.
No way.
We might not even be on. Live video ended. Why?
Oh, man, we tried to go
16 viewers.
Instagram Live, and it seemed to fail us. Any posts?
I don't know. I just posted it.
Well, we'll try to get this situated, man. YouTube. We might
Maybe you can only do an hour?
We might have to go live on YouTube or something. You could probably extend that, right? What else we got here, man? We already talked about your working out. We got some challenges going on. We got summertime rolling. We're good to go. You got any other questions? What have I been doing?
Trying to sell horses.
Nah, yeah, I don't think that's a specialty area of mine.
Any other questions we can think of?
Nothing, man. Yard work's about to pick up big time.
It's activity daily living, buddy.
So get moving, guys. That's it.
You gotta sell some kids. Get some kids. Start paying them to sell some kids. Sorry, take that back. Start paying kids to do the yard work so you can do other stuff.
Yeah, it's going down. I think we hit it all, man. Cool. Yeah, what else you got on here, man? We're talking sleep.
Sleep, nutrition. I was basically going to go on a rant about how you can't pick one thing for losing body fat.
Go ahead.
Strength training, bro. We covered it.
That's the one.
Strength training, I was talking about cardiovascular. I was talking about being inefficient and efficiency.
Yeah.
As a variable. Nutrition, we got into a little bit. And sleeping patterns, man.
Yeah, sleep
I think it's just very hard
That's the only thing we didn't talk about.
How important sleep is?
Probably want to be in that 7 to 9. See, I got this book I was telling some people in the early morning class. It's I think it's Matthew Walker. He was on with Joe Rogan a while ago, and it was totally eye-opening. So I bought his book, and now because our daughter's 13 months and I'm sleeping terribly, I don't want to.
We're talking about sleep.
I don't even want to read it because I'm not doing it, and I don't want to be scared about it. So.
It's just more important than people give it credit for, like muscle recovery, central nervous and neural function, like restorative effect on like memory, like
the hormones,
awareness,
and all that. like all this stuff.
It's
huge.
huge.
Lymphatics, all these systems that are working in the body. I mean, I think they all benefit better from sleep. So get some damn sleep.
Sleep aids. We're both pumping ZMA, bro.
Right.
Or no, you're on zinc. I'm crushing ZMA. Chamomile, I bang sometimes when I can't sleep
too. I take a lot of magnesium.
Yeah.
A ton of it. Probably too much of it. I take it in a powder form, and then I take a pill before bedtime. So I'll drink a big jug of this drink that's like
still sleeping like trash?
Baby, she's sick, man. She's up a lot.
She's done.
Going through some issues. So she's just not been sleeping well.
But CBD?
For who? I'm going to wake up anyway.
Yourself.
There's no point. We have to take care of her.
Chill AF?
What? I don't even know what the chili?
Kombucha.
Oh. No.
Don DeVault.
Porch tea.
No caffeine.
No, man. I don't even know. It is what it is right now. We're dealing with it.
Sleep's super important.
Baby.
Try. You got to do what you got to do.
You want to look good?
No easy answer.
You want to look good? Lift some weights.
Get some sleep.
Eat good. Sleep good.
Less processed crap.
That's it. Game over. Boom. Another podcast down, guys.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the questions. Please keep pumping questions in so we can do another one of these sometimes. And
where to find it, man? We're talking anti-frail.
Support anti-frail.
YouTube. Chris Fluck Podcast. Stitcher. Google Play. iTunes. Patreon.com. ChrisFluckPodcast.com. I think that's it, man. Rate us. If you check this out on iTunes, whatever, rate us.
Do all this stuff. Like stuff.
Tell your friends
share
about
stuff. Send it to your friends. Right?
We're 15 episodes in,
we're basically saying we need some help.
We need a bump.
We need some help.
We need a bump. All right, guys. Have a good day. Peace.